Coming up on Around San Diego, some new rules of the road and a new minimum wage. Some of the new laws that are taking effect in San Diego and across California this new year. Plus, we take a look at the impact this week's rain has had on New Year's Eve events. And those king tides are coming back to San Diego, what the city is doing to stay ahead of potential flooding. Hello to you and Happy New Year. I sincerely hope it's off to a good start. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day, and I'll get you caught up on our top stories so far for 2026, and we'll look ahead at what is to come around San Diego. We do begin with the hundreds of new laws that are now in effect with the new year, and there are a few that regulate the rules of the road. Our state political reporter Jenny Huh explains what Californians should know.
From laws strengthening accountability for drunk drivers to those protecting cars stranded on highways, there's a lot you might want a heads up on.
This will save lives.
This, the goal of California's many new traffic laws hitting the roads January 1st. What Doug Johnson with AAA of Northern California is referring to expands the existing slow down, move over law, which
requires drivers to change lanes or slow down significantly for stationary emergency vehicles, tow trucks, and road maintenance vehicles when their lights are flashing.
To all drivers.
In that situation where you're broken down and you're up on the shoulder, you might think, oh, well, I'm safe, I'm not in the lane of traffic, but it's actually one of the most dangerous places you can be.
Johnson says drivers can be fined up to $1,000, especially repeat offenders. According to AAA, California ranks second in the nation for deaths outside disabled vehicles.
Get over as far as you can to the shoulder of the road and stay in your vehicle until a tow truck can come help you.
The CHP says enforcement is typically like,
so if we see any vehicles that come through the construction zone at an unsafe speed, or they weave in through the cone pattern or go through some of these closures, then we're able to make these stops on these vehicles and take appropriate action.
Another traffic topic often of concern, driving under the influence. Starting January 1st, offenders who take someone's life will receive up to 3 to 5 years of probation as part of their sentencing instead of 2.
Most people, 51% of Americans, do support lowering the drinking limit from 0.08 to 0.05.
Off the highways, electric bicycle safety is priority. The new law states all types of e-bikes, pedal or motor run, must have a red reflector or flashing light in the back at all times, not just at night.
The uptick in crashes associated with not only bicycles, but e-bikes now, and also scooters. And this is in hopes that there will be more visibility.
And one convenient new law, you will be able to request a duplicate driver's license to change your address as long as you immediately destroy the old license with the old address. Current law only allowed for those duplicates if you had lost your license. Jenny Huh, CBS 8.
Jenny, thanks. And another new law will limit when law enforcement officers can wear face coverings while on duty. Senate Bill 627 generally prohibits masks during routine operations. Some exceptions include SWAT teams, undercover assignments, and hazardous weather. By July, agencies must also post written policies outlining when masks are allowed. And another new law is in effect, and it marks a major shift in how sex trafficking cases are handled. The goal move is about accountability and taking it away from exploited victims and then squarely onto those doing the exploiting. Assembly Bill 379 increases civil penalties for sex trafficking crimes committed by businesses and makes it a crime to loiter in a public place with the intent to buy sex. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria, District Attorney Summer Stephan, and Police Chief Scott Wall all stood together to support this law. The bill also creates a survivor support fund using fines paid by offenders to provide grants to organizations that help victims. It also extends legal protections to 16 and 17-year-olds, closing a critical gap in current laws. And if you head to the grocery store right now, expect to walk out with a paper bag. Plastic carryout bags are disappearing from store checkout counters. Under Senate Bill 1053, grocery stores, pharmacies, and retailers retailers are no longer allowed to offer any plastic bags. That includes bags labeled reusable or made with that thicker plastic. Instead, stores must provide paper bags made with at least 50% recycled material. And the city of San Diego's minimum wage has also increased this new year. It's now $17.75 an hour. That is higher than the state's minimum wage, which has increased to $16.90 an hour. However, the minimum wage is still $20 an hour for fast food workers here in the state. Also new in effect in the new year, 5 animal welfare laws aimed at protecting pets and strengthening veterinary care statewide. The San Diego Humane Society has voiced their support for the laws, 3 of which target puppy mills and predatory pet sales. 2 other laws aim to expand vet care. One allows vet techs and vet assistants to perform more non-surgical tasks under veterinary supervision. Another allows techs to conduct appointments without being supervised. Well, changes also are coming to California's Medi-Cal program in the new year, limiting undocumented adults who apply after the date to emergency-only coverage, not full Medi-Cal coverage. Health officials warn and fear of deportation, already keeping some eligible people from enrolling or renewing, even though coverage is free. Many are worried that people are avoiding care, and that could lead to more medical emergencies and crowded emergency rooms. Well, now turning to the weather, the impact of our current heavy rain has really been felt in our inland areas, really countywide. That, of course, includes Escondido, which was supposed to host an early New Year's celebration at a roller rink downtown. However, the rain would not let up that night, so organizers had to cancel the event. But they do plan to reopen the rink over the next few days, weather permitting.
We just kept, do a non-rain dance or something, but it's all right. We still have 2 more days to skate. We hope that the weather will cooperate. We'll be open on Friday and Saturday. Then the rink comes down after that.
Good attitude. It should be great. And in Coronado, take a look at this. A sinkhole opened up at 4th and Orange after a water line break shut down multiple lanes of traffic. This storm system is also happening as those king tides are returning to San Diego, and the city is taking steps to stay ahead of that potential flooding. Mission Beach is especially vulnerable during high tides, so city crews are already on alert. Storm Patrol crews will monitor coastal neighborhoods and low-lying areas around the clock, checking storm drains, clearing debris, and manually operating tide gates to help prevent streets from flooding. They are reminding people to avoid those flooded roadways, slow down, especially at night when standing water can be hard to see. Still ahead, California is moving forward with its high-speed rail project, all without federal support. The state's next steps. Plus, the family of a man killed by a falling tree branch Christmas Eve is now turning to the courts for justice. We have the latest developments on this litigation. Welcome back. The family of a City Heights man killed by a falling tree limb on Christmas Eve is now turning to the courts for justice. A new lawsuit alleges that the victim's family had earlier complained about the tree's condition, but claims that those calls for maintenance went unheeded by the city of San Diego. CBS 8's Richard Allen reports from City Heights with more on this litigation and why the family says they are taking this action.
Well, that's right, and this is what remains of that tree. Now, it was Christmas Eve morning here at the intersection of Whiteman and Marlboro when a large portion of this tree fell onto 61-year-old Roberto Ruiz, killing the beloved husband, father, and grandfather. His family is now turning to the courts for justice, saying through their attorneys that this was not a freak accident.
It's a horrible, horrible thing, and it's a huge loss, and this should not have happened. We are here and we filed this lawsuit because this is an accident that should not have happened.
An accident witnessed by some of his family that claimed the life of City Heights resident Roberto Ruiz, who had worked for years as a welder.
This is a tree that had been complained about for years. The family had complained about it.
CBS 8 reached out to the city for comment on this new lawsuit, but has not yet heard back. Last week, though, the city had disputed the family's claims that they had previously submitted complaints about the tree, adding that back in January of 2024, city crews had performed maintenance on the tree, adding that the tree presented no concerns or defects at that time, going on to say that the city does not have a record of any maintenance requests for this specific tree. But this new lawsuit disputes that.
And it was a tree that was not properly maintained, trimmed, pruned, was allowed to exist in a very, very dangerous condition, and it killed him.
Attorney Josh Gruenberg also represents the family of a 4-year-old boy who was killed by another city-owned tree, this one in a La Jolla park back in June.
Similarly, that tree was not properly maintained or trimmed or pruned. It was very, very top-heavy. And the city is just ignoring its obligations to the taxpayers.
Gruenberg says that the aim of this litigation is to seek justice for the Ruiz family and prevent similar accidents moving forward.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to hold the city responsible and to make sure it changes its policies.
Yeah, just awful. Richard, thank you. So sad. And attorneys for the family say that this lawsuit was filed just 6 days after the accident because certain laws allowing the family to bring forward legal claims to seek damages actually expired on December 31st. And right now, California is moving forward with its high-speed rail project, all without federal support. The state has dropped its lawsuit against the Trump administration over its decision to pull $4 billion in funding. The Trump administration argues the project lacks a realistic plan to finish. State officials say the federal government proved it was an unreliable partner. Meanwhile, the divide over the fate of the project continues between state Senate leaders.
We have a lot of shovel-ready projects, a lot of demand that would be better for the people of California.
Think of Merced. It has a UC campus. When you start connecting those areas by high-speed rail to places like Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, it's really a game changer in terms of economic development.
So now the state is seeking private investors for the project. It's estimated to cost more than $100 billion, which is more than the anticipated $45 billion when voters approved it in 2008. Officials say Bakersfield to Merced will be the first operational high-speed rail track set to begin operating by 2032. Coming up, a welfare check leads to a massive rescue with 40 dogs pulled from a small apartment. We'll take a look at their condition and the strain on local shelters. Once again, Happy New Year, and thank you so much for staying with us as we continue to take you around San Diego. So this year's flu season is worsening, with cases continuing to rise right now. The CDC says that 7.5 million people across the U.S. have already contracted the flu this season, and over 3,100 people have died from it. Last week, more than 19,000 patients with influenza were admitted to hospitals, up about 10,000 from the previous week. In San Diego County, 5 flu deaths have been reported already this season. The CDC still recommends that everyone 6 months and older get a flu vaccine each year. And right now, the San Diego Humane Society is caring for 40 dogs found in one La Mesa apartment. This all started as a welfare check after a tenant facing eviction had not been seen since December 23rd. Authorities still don't know where the owner is, and a humane law enforcement investigation is now underway.
When our officers entered the apartment, a lot of the dogs hid because they're under-socialized. We do know that some of the females are pregnant, so the final number of dogs could be much higher. We're just not sure at this point.
Oh yeah, the dogs are now receiving a medical exam, vaccinations, and microchip before they get placed in kennels. With shelters stretched thin already, the Humane Society is urging the community to step up by fostering or adopting. And the San Diego Sheriff's Office is showing off some new gear to keep their canine officers safe on the job. Every one of their 17 patrol dogs is getting a brand new bulletproof vest. The state-of-the-art canine storm vest weighed just about 1.5 pounds. That's compared to an older version that weighed 6 pounds. The vests cost $3,900 each and are custom fitted to each dog. The Sheriff's Office says it is money well spent.
Our dogs, our canines are willing to do anything for us. And we put those in those situations, and they come through time and time again.
They really are an asset to the force. So these vests were made possible thanks to a private donor and also the Honorary Deputy Sheriff's Association. Well, now to a scam that is spreading fast, and it could hit right when you think you're giving the perfect gift. Thieves are draining gift cards before they are ever even being used, and it's costing shoppers big. CBS 8's Alex Lai is working for your wallet with how this scheme is all working.
It's one of the easiest gifts to give and receive, but it could also be a way for scammers to steal your money. We're working for you to break down a scam called gift card draining and how to avoid it. Imagine the disappointment trying to use a brand new gift card only to find the balance is already gone.
Something that's been going around recently, and it's exactly what it sounds like.
It's called gift card draining. Working for you, I spoke with University of San Diego cybersecurity professor Nicholas Behar to understand how the scam works.
Malicious actors will go into certain stores or establishments, and they'll actually take the little stickers off the back of the card. And then when they do that, they will write down the numbers that are on the back of the card, and they'll actually buy those little protective stickers by the thousands, and they'll just take one and stick it on the back of the card so it looks like it's never happened.
Once the card is activated, Behar says the scanner can drain the balance. Even cards on paper hangers like this can be tampered with.
Is the gift card kind of like hanging by a thread? Less so than the other ones, right? Because that means they could have peeled it off, gotten the information, and then put it back onto the rack.
Now, before you buy a gift card, experts recommend running your finger over the barcode to see if there's anything loose or out of the ordinary. You can also buy gift cards online to be a little bit safer, but it's not necessarily foolproof.
Hackers can be monitoring compromised inboxes, waiting for gift cards to come in.
Behar says to secure your email and password and only buy from verified websites. Unfortunately, once a drained card is activated, getting that money back is unlikely, but maybe worth trying.
You can try to talk to the merchant as long as you have like a receipt and then the time showing when you activated it.
It may be too late for this year's holiday gifts, but this scam doesn't stop after the holidays.
And this happens all year round, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Working for you, I'm Alex Lai for CBS 8.
Oh, how I wish that were not the case, but thank you for the good info, Alex. Still ahead, a toy box with an environmental purpose, how it's helping to protect the sand and the water in North County, next in an Earth 8 report. Welcome back. Plastic sand toys are a beach day staple, of course, for kids and kids at heart, but many don't make it back home. Those non-biodegradable toys often end up buried in the sand or even in the ocean. So Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis shows us how a simple wooden box in Oceanside is keeping plastic out of the water in this Earth 8 report.
Why bring your own toys to the beach where you can just borrow a toy? This is a first of its kind sandbox like this here in San Diego County. We're in Oceanside where there's a whole team behind this push to keep the plastic waste off of the beach and out of the water.
They are colorful and entertaining for many kids visiting the beach.
Yeah, I took this.
The problem? These toys are often left behind and become embedded in the sand over time, or become marine debris in the ocean. The marine environment weathers the material into microplastics or even smaller nanoplastics as the tide rolls in.
Sea animals are going to ingest them. They're going to infect our health, the health of the ocean, and it might seem like a small thing, but it actually contributes to a big problem.
Janice Jones with the Surfrider Foundation chapter in San Diego noted that this isn't a rare occurrence.
We wanted to find a solution for that problem. It was suggested by many volunteers over time that we install a box like this.
They weren't the only ones who noticed this issue. So did 17-year-old Girl Scout Lauren Silver.
I was walking on the beach one day with my family, and I noticed a lot of sand toys just like laying out. And this was around the same time that I was trying to think of a project for my Gold Award.
A Gold Award is the highest honor in Girl Scouts, which highlights projects that make a sustainable and impactful contribution to one's community.
The ocean is always been a really big part of my life. I grew up in San Diego, and so I really just wanted to find a solution to minimize the amount of plastic that went into the ocean.
Lauren reached out to Surfrider San Diego. She built, designed, and decorated this sand toy borrow box and developed the documents for monitoring it. Janice Jones put her in touch with the Coastal Zone Administrator for the city of Oceanside, Jamie Timberlake, who helped with the approval process through the city.
Just like other things around the city, other infrastructure around the city, we need to take care of our beaches. When we leave things out, they create pollution that circulates in the system and gets taken to other beaches. And so, simple efforts can really make a big difference.
It is located on the Strand south of the Children's Playground near the Oceanside Pier. Lauren and her family have since moved to Colorado, but the box is in good hands.
I naturally sanitize the toys every couple days, and I usually rinse them daily. So it does not need that much care, I would say, but it's me, and it just makes me feel better when it's nice and presentable.
Dawn Casillas of One Clean Beach proudly monitors this toy box during her daily beach cleanups. She also makes sure there's no trash in the box, which has been minimal as the community rallies behind it.
Tons of thank yous, so much appreciation, and the community just loves it.
Dawn also reloads the box with toys and encourages people to come by and donate beach toys they aren't using anymore. As for the sand toy borrow box, local parents appreciate it.
Knowing that this is here now and just seeing how it's a cool collection space for all the sand toys to go, and then all the kids are using them together and then putting them back, that they have a home is really cool. So the beach is also less littered with sand toys as well.
Sounds like this eco-friendly wooden box isn't just city approved, it's mom approved too. For CBS 8, I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis.
Yeah, what a good idea, Carlene, thank you. Hey, and one of the most anticipated events for both new car buyers and enthusiasts is rolling back into America's finest city. The San Diego International Auto Show is at the San Diego Convention Center through Sunday. Tickets cost $18 for adults and $12 for kids. Kids under 6 are actually free. You can buy tickets online at sdautoshow.com. We, of course, always have more information on all of these stories on CBS8.com. That will do it for us. Thank you, as always, for staying informed. I sincerely hope that 2026 is good to you. I'm Jenny Day. Take good care.